I am at Guwahati, the venue for Northeast Zonal Conference on PM GATI Shakti, National Master Plan for Multi-Modal Connectivity. I'm glad that today we got the opportunity to talk with Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Sh.Hardeep Singh Puri ji. We'll try to discuss with him a little bit about the PM GATI Shakti master plan and how it will impact the lives, how it will change the infrastructure scenario in India. Sir, very warm welcome to DD News. Since it was launched in October 2021 by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, PM GATI Shakti, we have seen that it is one of the most talked about initiative of Government of India, especially in terms of infrastructure. So how do you see, sir, what is the roadmap ahead and how it will be a game changer in terms of infrastructure development in the country, sir?
Well, let me start by saying that the Gati Shakti program, no matter which way you look at it, is a game changer for a variety of reasons. One is that the earlier, what was perceived to be the earlier approach of every government department having its own plans for economic development, whether it is the, let's say, railways, highway construction, the power ministry, petroleum and natural gas, they would follow their own plans. Very often, at an advanced stage of execution of those plans, you would come across a situation where there is a contradiction. I mean, you dig up a road to lay a pipeline, and then, you fill it up again, and then somebody else comes in with their plan. So the very concept of creating a master plan for Gati Shakti, where all the ministries, or 6 or 7 of them which are primarily involved, they will pool their thing and you anticipate what is likely to be happen over a period of time. That idea is not only caught up, but it's now an inflection point. This is a game changer. So Gati Shakti means more speed, more coordination, but much more. You are looking at development in a more holistic way. Now I'll give you another offshoot. The cost of logistics as a percentage of GDP, as the Honorable PM said, is very high. It's about 11% or so. Now, if you can do this in a manner where all these energies are synergized, you bring the logistics cost down. What happens is that the central message goes to the executing ministries. The executing ministries pool their approaches and their resources, and then the message spreads throughout the country. But a very important point that the Honorable Prime Minister made in his address, he made several important points, is that the private sector is and should take advantage of this, because after all, it's not that Reliance is laying one pipeline, somebody else is doing something. If you find out what the Gati Shakti master plan is, then the private sector participation, public-private partnership, all the other stakeholders, including civil society, NGOs, they all become part of that. So you get, at the very least, growth in a galloping, geometrical proportion, faster growth, lowering of logistical cost, and a multiplication of the benefits which accrue from the development projects coming in their entirety.
This Gati Shakti connectivity, this model will help. Prime Minister is also saying that it will immensely benefit the farmers, suppose agriculture corridor and all these things.
100%.
So can you explain it a little bit how?
I'll give you a small example. I used to be Minister for Civil Aviation for 2 years, I think from June of 19 to July of 21. We started Kisan wing of Udan. What did we do? We are able to, there are produce of the Northeast. I'll give you an example, pineapple. Now these are, if you subject it to the normal logistical freight, by the time it goes from the Northeast to a central point, etc., now you have air freighters directly transporting pineapple to the consumption points in the Middle East. This just give you one example. Second thing, you see, connectivity must take into account the veritable geography and topography of a region. The Northeast has several issues which make it more fascinating. Now, for instance, we have brought the benefits of Udan to several places in the Northeast. There are flights between the Northeast and countries in the region. There are possibilities of people now. State governments providing viability gap funding for transportation. There's a central government. You know, I think one of the most remarkable stories about India's development is that when Prime Minister Modi became Prime Minister in 2014 and assumed charge, we went from a look to an act north-east policy. And that has brought in an action. But I want to take you to another area, one that, why are we, petroleum and natural gas, doing the regional Gati Shakti? That's the important point. I think in September of last year, I had said that we would increase the area under exploration and production in the northeast from 25,000 square kilometers to 50,000. And I'm very happy to inform you that in this, the petroleum sector will play a very important role. In the next few years, the petroleum oil production is expected to go up by 67% from 4.11 million metric tons to 6.85 million metric tons in 4 years. That's a massive increase. I mean, an increase of 67%. Including gas is expected to go up from 5.05 BCM to about 10.87 BCM in about the next 4 years. I'll give you this example of the state of Assam. Your revenues from energy, oil and petroleum related is about 22%. So there is clearly a win-win. If a state cooperates and a state is proactive, as your chief minister is very active, we are increasing the refining capacity here, we are taking all other steps, and I'm hoping, yesterday I reviewed one of our oil companies, Oil India. I was very happy to find that their crude production is expected to go up by 47% in the next few years, and their gas production by about 89%. So this is a clear thing, and we are anchoring this in Gati Shakti. So when we are making the programs for expansion there, the others, the stakeholders in the economic development of the state can also join in.
When you talk about an integrated approach, so several ministries are coming together. So will we have a system for monitoring, like clearance of various approvals,
Yes,
like
absolute-
environment,
absolute.
all these things are there?
You're absolutely right. The very fact that you have a master plan means that you're integrated. Otherwise, what happens, your individual countries had individual companies, individual sectors had their own plans. Now that's integrated in a Gati Shakti master plan, which will be coordinated on a nationwide this thing. So if you are, for instance, wanting to go into one of the states, let's say Kerala, well, certainly you ask the Kerala government, you also ask your other stakeholders, the ministry, but this is what we are planning to do, what are your plans? So you synergize.
Coming back to Northeast, do you have any specific plan from your ministry or in general for Gati Shakti for Northeastern states that we can expect?
I just told you to increase from 20 area under exploration and production from 25,000 square kilometers to 50,000, which is a doubling of the area. But more than that, you know, normally when you talk about this kind of expansion, you are wanting to do it in your traditional ways. By traditional ways mean once first clearance will take 6 months, next clearance will take 9 months. No, we are trying to change that. We are trying to restructure, integrate, bring in simultaneity. So what should have taken 6-7 years, we are hoping to do it in 2 years.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving your precious time to us. And I hope this PM Gati Shakti master plan will bring the situation from work in progress to work at pace mode. So we are looking for future. So thank you so much, sir, again. So thank you. This is Shantanu Romuria for DD News.